right. How's everybody doing? How's it? You like that fruit salad background right there? Man, it's a little psychedelic. I don't know, man. Maybe I'll do a little tropical summer. Oh, look at this. I can add Mr. Robot. How about that? That's pretty cool. I'm going to try to add a little background here. Let's see what we got. I'm going to try to find a cool photo. Maybe a cool soccer photo. I know we got a few. Wait for Amedeus to come in. Let's see what we got. Oh, man. I know what we're going to go with. We're going with the... Maybe we'll go with that one there. All right, so I'll fool around with that later, but because everybody's here to win money, so we're gonna help you do that. So there's a couple games today on the schedule. The first of which is not the first of which the primary game obviously is Leicester City and Nottingham Forest. There's a game in La Liga. There's a game in Serie A. The Udinese game is actually pretty interesting. We will get to that. Udinese at plus 117. And when you look at the standings in the table, Udinese is right here. Has a chance to go back to third place, playing a team Verona who's in 18th place. Right off the bat, you're kind of looking for a game to play today. Let's see what plus money. I say. Let me ask you a question. So I was messing around. So I got the Mr. Robot background. I got the tropical stuff. I was just messing around with it, the fruit salad and stuff, the bubbles. But right off the bat today, I know there's the game. We're talking about the games today, but it's interesting because. There's a game in Portugal, whatever, obviously Leicester City. But Udinese is playing Verona, and Udinese has a chance to go back to third in the table with a win. Verona is not very good. They have one win from 8 matches, and you can get Udinese today at basically plus 120. I just think maybe that has a little bit to do with the fact that this league is chaos, but also maybe some of these people, maybe the books don't know how to take Udinese right now. Maybe they're trying to still figure out. You look here and you see what Roma had a big win, Napoli had a big win, AC Milan had a big win, Atalanta had a big win, Juventus. These teams near the top of the table seem to be pretty good. Do you have any thoughts on that game right away?
Yeah, well, I actually do know another soccer handicapper who's on Udinese today. It's hard not to love them with the form they've been in. I mean, they've won their last 4 straight and 5 of their last 6 with no losses. So it's a team that's playing incredible right now. But I don't know, man. I'm not on them myself. I just it's not that I don't like them. I don't trust Italian teams on the road in this league. It's such like a a home fixing kind of league. I don't like it. Like every time a team goes to Lecce is a perfect example. Like I don't know if Lecce has like a specific mob down there fixing games, but it's always like there's weird things going on in the last 10 minutes. I've literally seen Lecce down 2-0. Team gets 2 red cards in the 80th minute. This was like a year or two ago, and then 2 goals tie the game, 2-2, and Lecce comes out of there with points. So
Yeah.
it's a weird home league. It scares me, but I mean, Udinese is the play. You can't take Hellas Verona. Yeah, you definitely can't take Verona with the way they've been playing. They're just absolute trash this year.
Yeah, it's just to me, it's interesting because I don't. There's not a lot of great games on the schedule today. I mean
no, they all suck.
The Sack Bowl, and we'll talk about the Wolves coach because he is.
Did you say the Sack Bowl? Is that supposed to be the Premier League manager?
Yeah, the Sack Bowl.
Sacked first.
The Bruno Lage got sacked yesterday, but
did he? Oh my God!
The loser of this game, 100% is getting sacked. There's no way that the Brendan Rodgers or Steve Cooper keeps their job. I mean, it's just crazy because not Nottingham Forest brought in 2 full squads of players. I mean, they brought in 22 players, and they have 1 win right now. So, I just think today is going to be a tough game for one of those 2 teams there. So, we'll see what happens with it, but
that's an interesting one. Like I kind of like the over 2.5, but then again, like it's such an obvious play, the over 2.5, just because of how bad both defenses have been. Like you got Leicester's given up 11 goals in their last 2. Nottingham's given up 12 goals in their last 3. But again, it's a situation where the teams they've been playing, like they got smashed. Leicester got smashed 6-2 by Tottenham, and I think maybe like 5-2 by Leeds or something in the other match. And then Nottingham Forest, they lost to like one of the Manchesters or something. So again, the teams that they've been getting destroyed, like, yeah, okay, they're letting in 4, 5, 6 goals a match. But then again, if you look at the teams that they've played in those matches, some of the best in the Premier League. So it's really tough to say. Now, Nottingham's a team that scored 1 goal on the road this year versus 9 allowed. So I would even almost lean to Leicester. I hate to say it because they're in such disarray. God knows what those players are thinking. But I would think Leicester is the better team in this spot.
Yeah, this is tough. AB talking about Manchester United. Yeah, they stink, man. But
do we have to talk about the Manchester Derby, or are we just going to pass over that?
My favorite bet of the day was Manchester United over 1.5 goals. It was at plus money. I mean, it took them till whatever, but I knew there was going to be goals in that game. I didn't know, early. It's crazy. If you bet Erling Haaland hat trick the last 3 games right now, you're pretty rich right now. And we'll get to that.
Foden gets a hat trick too.
And then Anthony Martial came off the bench and almost got a hat trick. It's crazy game. I will say this, I don't think anybody beats. I don't think anybody beats City, but that team is there to be had. Like their back line is not good. Like they could be at them. Somebody that's like a little bit more defensively, not all over the place like Manchester United is, or like one of these teams, like maybe a Real Madrid, or maybe like.
I'll tell you who's going to beat them.
Who's that?
Arsenal's going to beat them. Mark my words.
Well,
Arsenal's going to beat them.
Champions League. Can anybody beat them in the Champions League?
Oh, in the Champions League. I think there's a few. Barcelona comes to mind. I love my Barcelona.
I think you either have to outscore them or you got to play like a crazy.
Play like Atletico Madrid.
Real Madrid could do it because just the way they're set up.
Man, they played like such a-holes yesterday. Benzema missed a penalty. He shot it like he goes for the top of the net right at the goalie. Like, what the hell were you thinking, man?
He's missed three penalties. He's missed 5 of his last 13 penalties, and 3 of them have been against Osasuna. And I had. And they had the red card. I had them. I thought they were a lock.
Had a -1.5, man.
Only the best teams can give Newcastle Foxy. Come on, man.
Man, you guys, I'll be honest with you. I was on the over 2.5 in that match, and I was, as soon as Fulham got the red card, I was like, oh my God, Newcastle's not scoring 3 goals. There goes my over. Thank God they came to play.
I had Fulham before the game. I bet Fulham before the game and Bournemouth no bet. Fulham double chance. And as soon as the thing happened, I cashed out and I just put it on Newcastle and Bournemouth double chance. So I ended up winning that.
Bournemouth
that was
tied. That was good. Yeah, did you see my Crystal Palace? They were like, 2 minutes from getting that point against Chelsea? I said Crystal Palace had a chance in that game, and it took right to the 94th minute for Chelsea to wake up.
Chelsea's one of the – and how about –
And did you see the goal too?
Yeah.
It was like a strike outside the box. Like, man, they're so lucky. That wasn't even a Chelsea win. Anybody who thinks Chelsea won that game is like –
How about Brighton? How about little old Brighton?
That's my Brighton, man. I'm so happy that happened. 3-3 draw. They were even down, and they fought back after giving up 3 goals to blow their lead.
Yeah, it's crazy, and we're gonna start looking at that. Dodgy ref decisions cost Palace. Yeah, look, 100%. I mean, that's 100% of red cards. He did that on purpose, and it's getting to the point where. I don't know about I was having this discussion with somebody about football the other day, about the NFL. He's like, do you think NFL games are fixed? And I said, look, I don't think the games are fixed. I don't want to get into games being fixed as a better. I think that starts to become I understand some things are fixed. There's obviously been scandals, but it's like the basketball. With that guy, the referee, you don't have you just call a ticky-tack foul, or you do this, and so the Warriors win by 8 instead of by 10, and the line is 9, stuff like that. Does that stuff happen? I don't know, maybe, but football, soccer, but I can't imagine people. This is fixed. Maybe they keep it close because it's a television audience or something. If it's a televised game, I just don't know. But it's there's the English refs are just some dodgy every week, man. Every week there's dodgy things, and I don't necessarily think once again I don't think it's has to do with it being fixed. I think the refs stink. Foxy, I thought so too. They changed the rule this year so that if the lines are touching, then you're onside. So you can be offside. You could be past the defender, but if the lines are touching, then they're going to give the benefit of the doubt. I think it should be a yard, to be honest. I think you should have a yard. If you're within a yard of thing, and obviously that goes, any number you say will be well, why isn't it 2 yards? Why isn't it a thing? I think if any part of your body, if any part of your body is even with any part of the defender's body, you should be onside. I'm not it's so stupid to me that this part of your body is an inch past the line and it's offsides. But the rest, anything you could score with was behind the player. It's just dumb. Well, at some point I think they're going to start fixing that stuff.
Yeah, and you know what? They changed the rules so much. I don't even know what offside is anymore in soccer. I think a great example is there was the one Benzema goal last year in the Champions League for Real Madrid where they called it offside because he came from an offside position. I don't care you're ahead of the ball. To me, you got a defender between you and the net, you're onside. That, there's no reason why that goal
that one was dodgy because so that was in the final because the keeper was ahead of him. So there has to be the keeper and one other defender. So, like, if the keeper's ahead of you, but the defender's behind you, it's still offside. So, like, it's kind of stupid. Like, if
Yeah, and the way they
happened with Newcastle go, yeah, look, I think, everybody hates Newcastle, man. To be honest, they're going to do everything they can to.
Well, look, I think that the Big Six, that's a great example. What you saw with Chelsea there, Chelsea's getting a little too low now, and they had to help them out. Like, okay, let's just give them the 3 points.
Yeah, look, Abdi, the Green Bay touchdown yesterday, no catch. The games that are on TV, like everything's on. This was the discussion we were having. I was just listening to it, and he's saying the games that are on TV, like everything's on TV now, but like you know what I mean, like the national games for NFL or NCAA football, like if it's UTSA and like somebody and it's on ESPN Plus, like nobody's watching that. But like, so you can whatever. Like your officials' calls aren't going to be scrutinized. If you blow a call in the 8 o'clock ABC game on Saturday night, everybody knows about it the next day. If you blow a call in the Sunday Night Football game, everybody knows about it. The Green Bay game yesterday, because it's the 425 game, it's the national game. Everybody knows about it. Like, if you blow a call in the Eagles-Jaguars game, which is maybe a regional game or something like that, only certain people know about it. And like maybe it blows up, but maybe it doesn't. But with soccer now or football, whatever you want to call it, like the games are all on, but they're not all on like thing. But the Premier League, every time they make a mistake, it's all over Twitter. It's all the NBC and USA and the Robbies and Tim Howard saying, "Oh, this is brutal," blah blah blah. So, it's crazy, man. But I'm not gonna go out. I'm not gonna come on here and tell you stuff is fixed because we're running a game show. So like, I don't want to talk about that too much. But like, it is what it is. This Leicester, I just want to quickly talk about this Leicester City game. I know you like Leicester here at -1. It's like -140.
I don't know if I like them. I think they're gonna. Let's not go too far. I don't like them. I think out of the 3 outcomes, it's most likely they win.
Yeah.
But like, am I betting on this game? Absolutely not. I'm staying off.
Jim Bob's last game of the parlay had Real Madrid team total.
Oh, buddy, I had Real Madrid -1.5. I know how you feel. If they score that penalty, maybe things go a little different in the last 10 minutes there. But
that was the first. They were the only team left in all of Europe's major leagues. I'm not talking about like Moldova here, like England, Spain, Germany, Italy. I don't even maybe France. That hadn't dropped any points. They'd won every game in every competition they're in. They won the Super Cup. They won all their La Liga games. They won all their Champions League games. So, maybe it was time, but they really should have won that game pretty easily. Benzema, I mean, you just give. I don't know. Maybe somebody else got to
pick a corner and kick the ball. You don't need to shoot it at the goalie off the crossbar and in. Like, what the hell was that?
It drives me nuts.
I hate shots like that. Like he could easily miss the net too.
This to me. There's a couple things with this Nottingham Forest game. Over 1.5 goals for Nottingham Forest is +210. I have no trust in the fact that Leicester City is going to shut anybody down right now. When you look at the
11 goals in 2 games.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. What was on the homepage there? Was that about Brendan Rodgers?
Yeah. How Rodgers can get Leicester back on track? He can't.
Rodgers going to be gone after today.
I just saved you some clicks. 6-2, 5-2. Manchester United beat them. 2-1, 2-1. I mean, these are bad results, man. The only time they got points is at home against Brentford, and they almost blew that one. I mean,
They did blow it. They had a 2-0
They're in a
lead.
lot of trouble.
I was on Leicester that game. They had a 2-0 lead, and they did blow it to tie Brentford 2-2.
Yeah, Foxy says Madison. Excuse me, Madison anytime goal scorer. Let's see what he is. I got him at 205, Foxy. So yeah, you could probably get him for decent money.
I don't even think Vardy's playing. Why do they have him offered?
I don't know, man.
I'm pretty sure. What's his name? Daka was supposed to take his spot, but I don't even think Daka's going to play either.
That's the problem with these games right now. I just don't know who's going to play. Like I have no trust. I mean, I would say Nottingham Forest scores a couple of goals here. I don't know who's going to win. Maybe the over. Excuse me, man.
Yeah, I gave the over 2.5 out as a free play, minus 150. I mean, it's a little juiced, but with these two defenses, can you really trust?
Yeah, nope.
The other out.
I can't. I was just thinking, man, these Monday shows are tough for me, man, because I stay up and watch Rick and Morty at 11 o'clock, and then it's like, then I watch the end of football.
Love me some Rick and Morty, man. I need to catch up on season 4 and 5.
Yeah. The new season's out now.
Is there 6? Oh, God.
Yeah. This is the 3rd episode. So it's on at 11 o'clock here, and it's just like, I'm usually asleep, but not a lot of these other games today I like, to be honest. I'm not taking this Elch game, I don't think.
Yeah, Foxy, that's exactly why. I think a big part of Leicester's form has been Kasper Schmeichel leaving. Guy really was holding the team together there in the back.
You know what? Like, he left, and they were supposed to get a decent keeper in, and then they got Danny Ward, who stinks. So, like, I mean, that's a big deal. And they got a lot of issues with money there, like their financial fair play issues, and like, I mean, just hear some stuff. So like, I just think they're in a lot of trouble. Like, I don't think they want to sack Brendan Rodgers because then they got to pay him. It's kind of a mess. So
that's the other thing you got to think about. Like, is he trying to get sacked? So, you know, that's going to affect the lineup he puts out there. Like, maybe that's why you see guys like Daka getting the start.
Elche has a minus 14 goal difference through 6 games.
Yeah, they're pretty bad. They only have 1 draw in their 6 matches.
And Rayo is they're okay.
I would take Vallecano. Too bad it's like super juiced in this one, but that's one, like, they're the better team. They just kind of are. Unless Elche took the international break as a way to like recenter, and now they come out and they're like, we're not losing again.
I'll tell you what, I mean, you look at this, you know, Rayo and Udinese today, money line parlay is plus 256. That's the only way I would really probably do that. I'm not laying minus 157 on that. I would throw it in top 2 in Denmark has played today. I saw that.
Yeah, man, this Nord-Zealand team, like, geez, they came out of nowhere.
Is it like the rivals of like Midtjylland?
I don't even know, but I know they've been a team that's like battled relegation for years. And earlier at the beginning of the Denmark season, like, they screwed me a few times. So I kind of like stopped betting the Denmark league. And I've just been watching them, and they keep winning games. Like, I don't understand. I've not really, it's not a team I've looked into too much because they've never been in European competition that much, really. They're kind of always battling relegation, and they're one of the best teams in Denmark. So that's a team maybe to keep an eye out for.
I know Rangers has been pretty good of late, so that's an interesting game. Abdi likes Palmeiras.
I like Palmeiras today, but I'm a little weary because they don't play the best on the road, and Botafogo hasn't allowed a goal in their last 2 matches, and I think they've only allowed like 1 in their last 4 or something like that, 5 matches. So, you know, you're getting a really good defensive team that's won their last 3 playing at home here. I think they're just going to try and come to play defensive, maybe get a point off the best team in the league. And then you got Palmeiras, where, you know, the Palmeiras has scored a significant less amount of goals in their away matches this year, along with They've allowed less goals in their away matches, but they've scored less as well because they play more defensive style. They usually only win like 1-0, 2-0 games. You never see them blow somebody out 4-1 on the road. So yeah, that's I like Palmeiras, but it's a dodgy one, that's for sure. It's not like the safest thing on the planet.
Botafogo, where's Botafogo on the table? Okay, they're 10th, so they're doing all right. They're hanging in there.
Yeah, they've been in good form too. They've won 3 straight now, so that's just what worries me. They haven't allowed a goal in 2 matches. They're at home, won 3 straight, and you're basically getting a Palmeiras team in the same kind of form because they were drawing a lot of matches before they've won 3 straight now. They were kind of like, now that you see Flamengo and Atletico PR going through this, Palmeiras was going through this like last week where they were just coming away with draw after draw after draw. And that's the thing with these Brazilian teams is they go through those cycles where they'll win 20 straight games and then they'll just draw like 6 straight because they play so many matches.
Have you looked at the NFL game tonight?
Yeah, I have.
I think this is interesting.
That's my division, man. My Cardinals got to win for once. Hold on one sec. Wait, hold on one sec.
Did they win? Oh,
got my Cardinal. Let's get that in the camera. There we go. Got my Cardinal here.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, I hope they draw tonight, the 49ers and the Rams. Let's go. Let's go Cards.
I don't understand this line, to be honest. I mean, I know like it's basically if this is a neutral site game, it would be pick. I mean, maybe the Rams favor by half a point. 49ers, I think now that the people are back on them because Jimmy Garoppolo is going to be the quarterback. Obviously the Rams are the defending champions, and now you get the Rams. So I'm going to just tell you now, like for me, I mean, I do like the 49ers in this game, but I did. But if I'm going to do that money line bet where you get a team to before the game, I'll probably take the Rams at plus 110, hope they score first, go up 7-0 and get my money. I did that on Thursday night with the Dolphins, and it looked like they were going to do it, and then Tua got hurt. But this is a weird line, to be honest. I don't know about this game. Foxy says he called.
I remember him saying that. Did they win?
Yeah, he got him at plus 1,100 back in May. Wow. I didn't see the game, to be honest with you. I'm sure it'll be on replay.
I remember he's been harping on this team the whole time.
2-0. Wow, look at that. You even got the fireworks that show up. 13th minute goal and a 17th minute goal and 2 red cards for Sao Paulo in the final in added time. So, wow. All right.
Yeah.
There you go, man. That's
a whole month for Libertadores.
Yeah. Listen, I'll say this every time. If you want picks for South America, get on Foxy's pick. He's on Twitter. What's your Twitter, man? I know what it is somewhere. Ale Fox. What's with the triple X? Is that a code for something there, Foxy? Triple
X? Does he's handicapping by day, stripping by night.
Yeah, that's right. Bill talking about Man City. Yeah, look, they're a better team. No one's beating them. Maybe
Arsenal's beating them. I'm saying it now. I'm going on the record. I think Arsenal has maybe the best team in the Premier League. I think they're the only team that can challenge Man City right now. I think they have a chance at the title.
Yeah, I think they might. Bill, and I will tell you, my best bet of the weekend was Manchester United over 1.5 goals at plus money. So, I think that was it only counts as stripping if you get paid. Thank you, J Rock. I agree.
I don't know. Maybe Fox is getting paid.
Yeah, look, man, we got this thing in New Jersey. Like, they follow me on like Instagram. It's like crazy. And they have this like, what do you call it night? Amateur night. Like, hey, it's amateur stripping night. Like, I don't know. Like, what?
Amateur stripping night.
And you go to
Come on down, grab a pole.
It's so crazy. It's like I don't know, man. It's up outside of Newark, and they have like hookah nights and all this stuff. But like, I don't know. Maybe because you're amateurs and they throw you money and you get to keep the money. I'm not.
You're amateurs.
But this game I'll probably do the DraftKings thing where if it pays out if they go up 7 and hope the Rams score. It's a tough game to bet.
I know this division well, obviously, because the
Yes.
Cardinals. So I've had to watch Sean McVay powder my team's bum for like years. But I think at the beginning of the year, I thought the 49ers were a garbage team, and it had nothing to do with the talent on their team. It was the fact that I thought they have a Super Bowl roster, but they'll go nowhere with Trey Lance under center. Now that Trey Lance is gone, I have the 49ers as a top 5 team in the NFL. I think they're probably better than the Rams overall. And the total
Rams dead beat in the NFC Championship game. They were up 17-7 in the fourth quarter. They were up. They had the game won, and they just didn't win.
That's what I mean. Not only is it a revenge spot, we saw what Mahomes did in a revenge spot last night. It looks like he's been thinking about that Super Bowl 2 years ago for the last 2 years, every single day. The guy came out on fire. But yeah, this is a revenge spot for Jimmy. And, they did beat them twice last year in the regular season. So I don't know how good these Rams are, but I got to say the total intrigues me because it's only 42.5. We've been seeing that primetime under trend start to buck a bit. Last night had 70-something points in it. So I think, the 49ers have a great defense, and the Rams obviously have, some great defensive pieces in Aaron Donald, Jalen Ramsey, right? Guys on the line and the secondary. But this is one where you're seeing the Rams defense without Von Miller, how much they can't stop the run. They can't do anything. And the only reason they beat the Cardinals is because if you look, Kyler Murray's not running the ball anymore. That was their whole offense last year. The guy, he doesn't even run the ball anymore. I blame Cliff Kingsbury turning him into a pocket passer when clearly the best coaches I find get the best out of their players. They go to their players and they say, what do you do good? We will try to work on that, not change the way you're doing. And you're seeing it with your Russell Wilson in Denver too. Nathaniel Hackett's making him play more under center when he's been a shotgun quarterback his whole life.
That guy stinks, man. The coach is terrible.
Look, he turned Aaron Rodgers into a good quarterback that way, but you're asking Russell Wilson, who's been playing for almost 20 years, 15 years. You're asking him to change the way he's been doing things near the end of his career. It's not working out.
Yeah, it's crazy. AB lost on the Lions.
Yeah, me too.
That team was crazy.
90
Bill
points.
says, the Rams are a public dog today, which, look, man, if the public is betting one way, bet the other way. Any bookie will always tell you that. If everybody's on one team, go the other way. Maybe it doesn't work in a specific game, but over the course of a season, the casinos were not built because they're losing money. People don't build banks and casinos to lose money. They build them to make billions and billions of dollars. So, one game is whatever, but if it's 80% on one team every week, if you go the other way, you'll be all right. Now I just wanted to kind of touch on these Champions League games tomorrow. We'll go over them obviously much more tomorrow. Is there any other games tomorrow?
That Barcelona line you pointed out has stayed stagnant. I've been watching it every single day. I think maybe if it's going to move, it'll be tonight.
I already have some. I'll just quickly go through these. My parlays for this are I have a Barcelona and PSG parlay on the money line because you're never getting those two teams at that price again. If Barcelona wins this game, when Inter comes to Barcelona next week, Barcelona will be -300 or -280 or minus 250 or something.
Absolutely.
No chance you're going to get anywhere close to that. Excuse me. Chelsea's up to minus 155 now. I mean, all of a sudden now you look at, this is the Wednesday game. AC Milan now for a double chance is up to plus 130. So that line's creeping up. Bayern's minus 2,500. They finally showed up this weekend. They'll absolutely annihilate Victoria Pilsen, but I just don't know how you could bet this game.
Over 5.5 team total Bayern Munich. This time we're getting the 6-1.
Yeah, probably.
Barcelona beat
over 3.5, over 4.5, over 5.5. Yeah, probably. That's
Barcelona won 5-1. So that means if it comes down to it where Bayern loses in Barcelona and they got to go by goal differential, Bayern needs the 6-1 win.
There's some very good championship games. Managers getting sacked all over the shop here. We'll kind of look at that right after this. Marseille is interesting. I didn't see.
Oh, Marseille showed up
this weekend.
Yeah, I think they ruined my no. They cashed my under. It's 2-0. I think.
Thanks, man. I don't know what's going on with Lyon Olympic Lyon.
Lyon's got good pieces. Same with Lille. I don't know. I don't get it.
Marseille won 3-0. That's right on Friday.
Oh, they did ruin my under.
Yeah. So yes, that's the game we talked about last week. I remember. Sporting Lisbon struggling a little bit. You get Marseille at plus 120. We'll go into these more in depth. But if you're looking today to start looking at some of these games before the lines move, because the lines are, after this NFL game tomorrow morning, when people start trying to bet these games, these lines are going to move, you think, at some point. Napoli at plus 200. I mean, I know it's at Ajax, but this Napoli team is pretty good. And they're also leading the group.
Ajax just tied with the go-ahead Eagles 1-1.
Yeah, I see some games here with some pretty good value, to be honest with you. I mean, I don't really do – I'll do parlays, but I mean, with some of these money lines, I mean, Barcelona at minus 127 is crazy. I mean, that line should be minus 160. So I'm going to actually –
they haven't picked up on how good this Barcelona team is, and I don't know why.
After the show, I'm going to start putting some bets in. See, here's a game that is really, to me, is interesting because – Atletico Madrid is like, I guess they're good. I don't know.
They just beat Sevilla somehow.
They're
2 goals.
They're fifth in the table in Spain. They've won 4 of 7 games. They are, in this group. I know they have to win because Bruges has 6 points and Bayer Leverkusen is playing Porto, but once again, Bruges has scored 5 goals and allowed none. I just don't I don't know about this line. I might take a chance on Bruges here at plus 300 or double chance. Bruges and draw minus 115. It's kind of
just save yourself the trouble. Take neither team to score, and you'll be good to go.
Which one? Bruges. Oh yeah,
Bruges and Atletico. That'll be Bruges trying to get the ball from Atletico the whole time.
I think Bruges could win that game. I just don't think there's a lot between it. And for Atletico Madrid to be minus 106 on the road when the game's going to be 1-0 either way is crazy to me. No, I think it should be closer to what's a good line? Maybe like the Ajax Napoli game. Like if you want to tell me, Atletico Madrid should be plus 125, and Bruges should be plus 220 or something like that. All right, but I just don't get it. AB just talked about Tottenham, Frankfurt to beat Tottenham.
I still think Tottenham is better. Like, just because they lost to Arsenal, I think Arsenal is just a damn good team. That's what I chalked that up to, man. Like, Arsenal at home. If you even looked at that when the home team won the last 5 straight between those two, so Tottenham's a good team. They're going to try here.
Just look at this group here. Marseille really needs to win this game today. They really need to beat Sporting twice. Tottenham, I think, needs to get 4 points from 6 for Eintracht Frankfurt to be in decent shape. If you're asking me, I like Tottenham in this game. I think once again you're getting them at plus 104. I mean, I'm going to look more about it over the next couple before tomorrow, but I would like that. Porto Leverkusen. I don't know how good Porto is, but they just destroyed Braga on the weekend. So, the fact that you're getting them at plus 110 here is pretty interesting to me. I know they haven't been great in this group, but they, once again, are a team that needs to win. They are group. Where are they? Group B. They have 0 points. They need to win this game. They really need to get 4 points once again in these next 2 games, 6 would be optimal. Inter Barcelona, I don't understand the line, and Liverpool will beat Rangers 16-0.
I don't know. I don't know with this Liverpool team. I don't know.
I think this is one of these games where you go over 3.5, over 4.5, over 5.5. Rangers is Liverpool's. I don't think Liverpool's issue is the scoring. I think they score goals. They're just Trent is terrible. Just put him at wing, man. He's not a right back. Their backs on their defense isn't great.
It's terrible. It's awful. And as long as they keep allowing goals, they're not going to be able to compete with these
The worst
giants.
thing that happened was them bigging up this Virgil van Dijk a couple years ago for like the thing because they finally won the league. Tsimikas is just like Trent is terrible. This team's they're not good. But like going forward, they do score some goals. And if Firmino is going to score some goals now, that's going to be interesting. Jota doesn't even play anymore, which is crazy. And then that other bum came in the 89th minute for what's his name? For Thiago. They don't even bring him in. How about that, man? He's going to be a bust.
I think Klopp's time is coming to an end in Liverpool.
I don't know. He could probably stay as long as he wants. I just don't know if they're going to be spending as much money now. Like Fenway is like until they won something. Like Klopp is just a really good manager. Until they won, they got to 3 Champions League finals in 5 years. They only won 1. They won 1 Premier League title, the first one in like 600 years. So whatever. He got a couple big things for them, but yeah, I don't know. I just don't know how good this team is. I think this team is getting old, and I don't know if they want to put the money in. And that Nunez is a bust. He's going to be a bust. They spent a lot of money on him, and you can't miss on guys like that when you're trying to rebuild these teams. Because 2 years from now, when all these, Salah's 35 and all these other guys are old, Jordan Henderson and all these other bums they have, it's going to be an issue. So,
they tried to go pick themselves up their own Haaland, and it's not the same player. It's not the same player in any capacity.
Yeah, Haaland's just
the thing is, Haaland creates space for himself.
He's a genetic experiment. This guy, man, I'm 100%.
He's an alien.
Yeah, dude. The guy is just he's a freak, man.
Guy has wings on his cleats, can fly 6 feet in the air to score a goal.
The best thing about it is he'll be at Real Madrid in a couple of years. So
yeah, you think so?
Yeah. He's gonna move.
He's just bouncing around. First Germany, England.
Foxy, Klopp doesn't seem to trust Darwin. Yes, because he's pants. Foxy, I know you know that term. He's pants, Foxy. He stinks. He can't. I was watching. Look, I'm not a big XG and comps guy and all this stuff, but sometimes in the summer I'll start doing that because there's nothing else on, especially this year. And they were talking about how he can't get his own shot, like you're saying with Haaland and stuff. Like Haaland creates space. Haaland makes runs. He's a monster. Nunez is big and stuff, but he can't he needs somebody to do the work for him, and he's like a tap-in merchant. He's like Lukaku, right?
So got to serve it up on a platter.
When you see what Lukaku does when he when he went to Inter, when he left Manchester United and went to Inter, he was really good, and everybody's like, "Oh, Manchester United just didn't take care of him. He was overweight. They didn't know his health thing. He couldn't eat pasta. Blah blah blah." Then he went to Italy, so like figure that one out. And then he goes to Italy and scores these goals, and they're like, "Oh yeah, he's all fixed." And then he comes back to Chelsea and stinks. It's not that he went to change his diet and all. These leagues are levels below the Premier League. People don't understand how good the Premier League is. It's so fast. It's so physical. Every team is good. You have you can't score 5 goals against the bums at the bottom every week and then come. You have to be ready to play every week. And it's not like that in other leagues, like the Bundesliga, man. Those games there's nobody plays any defense, and the keepers can't even catch the ball. Like when you're in Italy and you're playing, some of these teams, these teams stink, man.
Italy's the opposite of Germany. Everybody plays defense and nobody scores goals.
Yeah. I mean, these teams, Spezia, Lecce, Salernitana, they don't have any money, man. They have no money. They're getting loans from these teams, and these teams don't have any. A couple of them have money, but they don't. Anytime they get somebody decent, they sell them. It's the same as France. I think has some talent, but it's the same thing, man.
Monaco is just a business, man. Monaco is buy them young, sell them at highest price.
That's what they I mean, that's one league I don't really watch I try to watch some Serie A games. They're boring to me. But
because it's all
these
defense.
leagues, when you see these teams all 9 9 games in, 16 goals, 9 games in, 17 goals, 9 games in, 21 goals, 19 allowed. Every game is 2-2, 3-2, 16 goals, 18 allowed, 13 goals, 15 allowed, 17, 18, 17. Now, when you start to get to the top of the table, PSG and Marseille they've only allowed 5 goals. Lorient scores some goals. The reason they're so high up the table is because they score goals. Lens has only allowed 7, but that was a big one yesterday. But these teams all score goals. That's why the league, the over, and these games are interesting. That's why they all have 4 wins and 3 wins, because they score goals. When you look at some of these other leagues, it's just they don't score any goals, man. Look at this. 10th in the table, 7 goals. 7 goals. 10 goals. 6th in the table. Roma has scored 10 goals in 8 games.
Keep in mind, Sassuolo won 5-0 over Salernitana, so they scored 5 of those literally in their last match.
I mean, you remember, we just showed teams with 9 games with 17 goals, 18 goals, 16, 15. Here, from 8 down, Inter has 14, 10, 7, 7, 7, 7, 7, 7, 7. One team, Salernitana, has 10, and they're actually and they have 1 win, but 7.
They have players 6 on their team, which I don't get. I feel like this Salernitana team is better than what they're playing. They just got embarrassed by Sassuolo, 5-0.
And you see, they've all given up 13, 15. So basically, when these teams, Napoli, Lazio, AC Milan, Udinese, plays these teams, they score 2 or 3 goals. When any of these teams play any of these teams, the game is either 0-0 or 1-0. That's the goal. And, the difference is, so we just remember that when we start talking about these games. When you look at, these games, driving me nuts. When you look at, once again, these games, these games, outside of these 2 teams, these games are all 2-1, 2-2. This is a great league to bet the over. Even these teams, these teams at the bottom, when it's 7, 4, 5. The teams at the bottom have 9 or 10 goals, 12 goals. They give up a ton of goals, 20, 21, 19, 19. So these games are all overs. If you want to make some money, just bet the over every game in France. Unfair to compare him to Holland. The guy is a human making crazy records. Yeah. If you want to make money every week, go into the French league outside of like PSG and some of these other games because they play defensive against them, and Lens because they don't give up any goals. Whenever any of these teams are playing, just bet the over. You'll probably win, a decent amount of time. 4-1, 3-1, 1-1, 4-2, 2-2, 2-1, 2-1, 3-1. That was this week. 3-0. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of the 10 games went over 2.5 goals. If you bet over 2.5 goals in every game, you made a ton of money this weekend on the French league. It's like that every week. So there you go. We don't even need to do the show anymore. I just gave you all the ways to win money for the rest of ever. But I do think Liverpool scores, I think this is one of those games where you could do that. And then, somebody asked me about City in that game because they play Copenhagen. Like, I just – like
12-0.
Sometimes I just feel like City bullies the teams in the Premier League sometimes, but like when they play a team like that, like Pep doesn't want to like embarrass them. Like, so maybe it'll be like 4-0 or something like this because they already won the group. I mean, there's no way. Like after these, like they'll have 12 points after these 2 games. Like they've only scored 6 goals in 2 games.
Their group is a joke. You have a Danish team with a fraud Spanish team and a fraud German team.
If you look at, there's been 100 studies done about this. If you look at the Manchester City groups and draws and the FA Cup and these, they never play anybody. Manchester United and Chelsea and Liverpool and these other teams in the 3rd round of the FA Cup, United will get Aston Villa and they'll get all Premier League games or whatever. And then like Manchester City will get like Dog and Pony FC and then like some 18th division team. And then like the 5th round, they'll play like the only League One team left. And then like the quarters, they'll play like the only championship team left. It's like so crazy. They get like, you don't need to do that. But like the problem is nobody, like I say this and people get mad, but if you go on, like nobody cares about Manchester City. Like they're starting to get a fan base now in America because they've been good for whatever. But like nobody cares about City in England. They can't even sell the stadium out. Like they're a very good team. I do like for a rival. Like people ask me all the time. Like I hate City, but like if anybody like who would you rather win the title, City or Liverpool? City, 100%. Like nobody cares. Like in 20 years when they're looking back at this, they broke every rule. The only reason they did it, I mean, it is what it is. I mean, everybody knows. Everybody, we hate Liverpool, but like nobody cares. They're like, it's like boring to watch. Now it's better because they have Holland, but it is what it is. So I think sometimes maybe like in these games, he just tries to win like 3-0 or something, or maybe 4-0. So, right now over 3.5 goals for City is minus 109. I mean, is it even worth it to bet that?
No.
Like if they win 3-0, you lose your bet, and they won comprehensively. That's the crazy thing. It's just they're really hard to bet. Like yesterday, they were minus 300.
Yeah, I thought for sure United was going to keep it close, and that game was done in the first 20 minutes.
See, the only thing is, Foxy, they have Alvarez, Mahrez, Palmer, all these guys. Holland's all for the World Cup because he couldn't lead his team to do anything and to get to the World Cup. So I guess he is human, but he's going to be off from basically November 13th to like December 26th. So he's going to be off for 6 weeks. So, I don't know. Maybe they ride him. Maybe they do. I mean, maybe they could bring him off the bench, or maybe he plays.
He's one player where I think he'll actually get mad if you rest him, just because, as you said, he's going to be off for a month. So he's probably telling Pep, like, I'm not I'm not sitting games now, and then I have to sit out a whole month and watch everybody else go play for their countries, right?
That's how Messi was, man. He was so mad if you didn't play him.
Well, look at Ronaldo. I bet he was fuming at the beginning of the season because he wanted to be on a winning team, and now that Manchester United is winning, they're still not starting him. He's probably still fuming.
Yeah, that's right.
I was shocked. Did he get to start in that game? I don't even think they played. They started him against Manchester City.
No, he didn't play.
Yeah.
And then they asked him why they didn't bring him in. And they brought Martial, and he's like, "Listen, man, I'm not bringing a guy like that off the bench in a 4-0 game. What's the point?"
Yeah.
Like, which I agree. Like, just leave him on the bench and play him on Thursday in this game. Let him score 50 goals against Ammonia. Like, well, and Martial needed game time. He's been out. Like, whatever. And Martial scored 2 goals. So, going forward, like, I'd be amazed if he's here after January. The Manchester United attack should be Martial, Rashford, and I don't know, Anthony scored a nice goal or somebody. I mean, they really need like Osimhen or something like this. But like, he won't be there. Like he doesn't. What's the point? Like I don't know. He does certain things well.
What's United gonna do with him though? He wanted to leave before the season. He asked for a loan. They told him no.
Well, the problem is that's just, he's gonna have his guy look for a loan. Well, he did. He looked for a loan, and nobody wants it. Like nobody can pay his salary. Like that's the other problem.
That's true too.
He can't pay his salary. He's like, I only want to go to a Champions League team. Okay, well, who are you going to here? Bayern Munich
PSG has too many people.
PSG doesn't want him. Bayern Munich didn't want him. Like, he could go to Sporting if they get through, which I don't, if Sporting gets through, I mean, he could go back to Sporting. That would be great, I think, for him. That would be probably perfect. Or Napoli. There was talk about him going to Napoli and Osimhen coming this way. He could go to Atletico Madrid, but they didn't want him. He's not going to Tottenham. Why would, they don't need him. He's not going to Porto. He's a Sporting guy. He's not going to Benfica. He's a Sporting guy. He's not going to Liverpool. He's not going to Inter because they're going to be out. He's not going to go to Barcelona. That doesn't even make any sense. No. Somebody was talking about Celtic. I'm like, Celtic? Like, what? Like, it's Chelsea. He might go to Chelsea. Like, Chelsea.
Why would he go to Celtic?
There was like, hey, because it's a Champions League club and it's like right there. So like, I don't know. He might have done something there. But like he's going to go to Chelsea. I would say Chelsea or Sporting. So because Tuchel didn't want him and now Tuchel's gone. So Grant Potter's going to be like, yes, sir, whatever you need. So like he'll probably go to Chelsea and like he'll like mess up their attack in the Champions League. So it is what it is. That's if Chelsea gets through this group, which, that's not a given because, right now, if Chelsea loses tomorrow to Wednesday to AC Milan, which is a distinct possibility because Milan is better than them.
Yeah, AC Milan, I'm telling you, they're going to come away with a draw in Chelsea, and they're probably going to either draw or win at home.
Yeah, Jim Bob, some of them did. I mean, it is what it is. Like, some people left at halftime for nothing. Like, and when you go to that stadium, it's like when I've gone to city games at, United City matches, like you got to walk back. There's trams, but they never run. So you always got to like walk. You got to walk like 3 miles back to town. So maybe it's 2 miles. I don't even know. It's not that far, but it's when you win, it's great because you're singing. But yeah, you can't be bothered. I went out. I went to the store yesterday at halftime. I didn't see the goals. I was like, I don't have time for this. Like,
I saw someone had a United shirt in the first half, and then he was spotted wearing a City shirt in the second half.
Yeah, that's. I can't imagine where where they're from. Not Manchester, clearly. But yeah, like, it is. It's some people left, but this. I've said I don't know. I mean, Arsenal probably could beat them, but I don't think. I think Manchester City goes through the season unbeaten. I don't think they lose. I think they break Arsenal's record. I don't think they're going to lose a game. I think they're going to win everything that they can win because, like you said, like this Julian Alvarez is nasty. Mars doesn't even play. Like, and he played early in the season. I mean, they just have guys like it's crazy. They have two and a half squads of players. But once again, I mean, when you have unlimited funds from a nation state, you should be the best team in the world. That's why, it's no surprise PSG. So just Foxy, hang in there a couple years. You're going to be better than City because you got 10 times the money they do. So
they're so deep though. And you know what? I'm going to go against you on that one. They almost lost to Aston Villa. I think there's going to be a team that brings them down. Maybe it's not Arsenal, but they'll drop a fluke match somewhere in the season.
Yeah, I think someone could. All right. So that's our show for today. I posted Udinese in the Udinese money line in here. I think maybe Udinese and Rayo Vallecano is plus 250 parlay. I'm going to go put that in now before I forget. And tomorrow we'll specifically hit on the championship games and the Champions League games because there's a lot of championship games as well. So make sure you're watching, and we'll have some news probably Friday about this. Almiron's volley was outrageous. He's better than Grealish. He might be. He had to deal with a lot of stick for a couple of years, and he's turning into a pretty good player. So. And so was that Joe Linton when they moved him into midfield. So that was interesting. Okay, so we will see you tomorrow, same time. And thanks for watching. Have a great day. I almost pushed the wrong thing again. So here we go.